Here's your word for the day from Calvary in Lake Havasu. Visit us on the web at calvaryaz.com.
Well, hey there. Thanks for tuning in to Your Word for the Day from Calvary. It's good to have you here. My name is Robert. We are beginning to look at some marks of a Christian. These things that we believe as a church are evident in the life of a healthy, growing, faithful follower of Jesus. And we're posing them in the form of a question so that you do some introspection and process. And so this week, we're looking at that question: am I treating others with kindness and respect? Am I loving? Am I someone who is a loving person? And we may look at that, and I think there's a temptation we may have to just think that we should do this because it's the polite thing to do. After all, you don't need to be a Christian to think that treating others with kindness and respect is important. But for us, we've got such a bigger why than just we should, because it's the polite thing to do. And we've been unpacking this this week, of course, but we see another reminder in Ephesians chapter 5, verses 1 and 2, and it says this. Paul says, "Therefore, be imitators of God as beloved children, and walk in love as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for us, a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God." He continues throughout this chapter to help us understand what it means to do just that, to walk in love to the people around us. And as we look at this, I want to connect this idea to this mark of a Christian. That if we're going to treat others with kindness and respect, to be people who are loving to others, that's what he's talking about here, walking in love. But he gives us a why that is so important. He says, be imitators of God as beloved children. See, we don't need to be loving people and treat people with kindness and respect just because we should, but because that's what God's character and nature demonstrates for us. The very nature of God is one of love and kindness and compassion. And we, as followers of Jesus, are to imitate God's character in every way in our life. That's why we are told here to be imitators of God. That is our goal in every aspect. So we don't treat people with kindness and respect just because we should, or it's the polite or socially acceptable thing to do. Because in doing so, we get to imitate and reflect the character and nature of God. Because after all, he says we're his beloved children. Little kids love to imitate their parents, to follow after what they see their parents doing. So let's do that. And let's remember that if we want to be a follower of Jesus, then Jesus tells us in John 14 that if we love him, we'll keep his commandments. If we love him, we'll follow after what he tells us to do. We will imitate his character and nature. So let's walk in love, not because we should, but because it's what God demonstrates to us, and we are to imitate and follow after him. Hope this helps. We'll see you next time.